Hello guys, how are you doing? My name is TNG or Joshua Vecygaming, and today we're going to play some Minecraft. We're going to check out the new Snapshot. By the time you see this, it's going to be a bit behind. I also had a little bit of I didn't actually manage to get any time to do the previous snapshots. So what I'm going to do is in the next couple of days, I'm just going to keep uploading snapshots to the current one, and I think that'll be alright. So that we're keeping up to date with these snapshots. So we're going to start off from the very beginning, which is this first snapshot, which is Snapshot 14W02A, and of course B and C. B and C are pretty much just bug fixes, so I'm going to start off on A. In any case, yeah, let's get straight into it. Woohoo! Boing, 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 boing. Yeah. Alright, so as you can see, this is the best thing in this mod. This is the best thing in the snapshot, and hopefully it's going to be amazing in the 1.8. I can see a lot of things being done with this block. So this is a slime block. As you can see, this is a slime block. So it means that it's pretty bouncy. You don't take any fall damage when you jump on it, and you know, it's pretty awesome. It's a good way of getting down from high places. So I can imagine a lot of elevators, new elevators and stuff will have this. Instead of having a water source block at the bottom, you'll have this block. The next block I'm going to show you is granite. So granite is a new type of, I'd say ore, but it's more like a, yeah, it's an ore, but it's almost like a stone block as well. So it's just like it can be found anywhere. If you've ever played Tekkit and you've seen like the marble that was around, it's pretty much like that. If you hopefully you'll see the recipe, but if you put 4 together, you'll get a polished granite. The next one is diorite. So diorite is similar, but it just looks a bit nicer. It's a little bit like marble. Polished diorite, crafted in the same way. I imagine it's a little bit like the quartz block. Andesite. Andesite is again the same, except it's just a nice, a different colour. But I love the polished andesite. I love the polished andesite because it just looks really nice. It looks kind of like what you'd have at a castle floor, rather than just having the standard stone brick, which is what everyone uses. I prefer this as like a castle floor, which is pretty nice. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to mention is that the command up, there's been like in the bug fixes and such, it generally fixed command block issues, and there's been a lot of command block adding things. There's been a lot of new things to do with command blocks, and I'm actually going to do a separate update for that in 1.8. So there'll be the 1.8 like summary of everything I've done when 1.8 comes out, and then what I'll do is I'll do a separate video on all the command updates and all the command stuff, because a lot of them will probably tie in with what you can do on MC Edit, which I plan on doing a little bit of MC Edit stuff myself. So yeah, I hope you all enjoy that. One of the other things that the command blocks added, and I just want to mention this quickly, is to the fact that now you can do kill at E, which means now you can kill entities, which means you can kill chickens, you can kill creepers, and specifically different kinds of things, which is pretty awesome. I like that. Alright, so the next thing that I'm going to talk about is the adventure mode. So that's been tweaked a little bit, it's been changed, and they've now made it a lot easier for adventure map creators to be able to, you know, adjust to things and make sure that people aren't able to cheat. So what I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to go into game mode. I'm going to go into game mode 2, which is adventure mode, game mode A. And before we could destroy glass and stuff in the previous updates. We could destroy glass, we could destroy other things specifically, the specific things, and now we can't. So now we can't destroy anything. We can still see the box around it, but yeah, that's fine. But what you can actually do, and ignore this sign. I thought you could do it in MC8, but I realised you don't have to. You can use a specific command, which gives you a item which you can sort of customize so that it can only break a specific block in adventure mode. So here we go. So give player diamond shovel, one of the shovels, and okay. So as you can see, what you have to do is you have to put this believe argument. You have to put this argument in, and it says can destroy, and then you can change this to specific blocks. So if I wanted to, I could put gravel on this. So that's what I might do actually. Do this, and you put gravel, and that should work. And then what you can do is you can type in oh, I need let me just change this. You need to put a Yeah, you need to make sure some of these are actually correct, otherwise it won't work. There we go. So now, if I hover over it, there we go, gravel. So it can break sand, grass, block, and gravel. While this one can only break sand and grass. So as you can see, I can break it, but I can break that, but I can't break glass or anything else. But with this, this I can't break gravel. While if I change to my gravel one, I can change gravel now. I can destroy gravel. So this is going to be very good for adventure maps. Sorry about this, guys. I can't seem to get my words out today. It's in the middle of the morning, so I apologise for this, guys. Anyway, let's move on. Alright, so worlds can now be very specific in their difficulty. What I mean by that is they can be locked. And this is really good. So if I go to options, as you can see, it says I can change my peaceful and hard and stuff, and that's pretty awesome. But what I can actually do is I can lock it. Now, what happens if you lock it is, are you sure you want to lock the difficulty of this world? This will set this world to always be peaceful, which is what it was previously on, and you will never be able to change that again. So I'm just going to click no because I don't want to do that. So what you can actually do is you can make sure that the difficulty can never be changed, and this also means that this is very specific to a world. So this is really good for servers, and I know from experience that if you're on a server and you're playing a custom map, and you were on a previous and you played a previous world or something, and it was on peaceful, when you go to this new world, it'll be on peaceful again, and you have to go out and go into your console and change it. And it's just a little bit of effort, and you have to stop what you're doing, and you know it's a lot of effort. But what you can do with this is you can actually change the difficulty and lock it, so that when you go onto a server and you put in a new world that's custom, it'll change. It'll stay to that difficulty that it was locked to, which is really cool, specifically for servers and adventure maps. But if of course if you do it by mistake and you want to change it in adventure maps, like if you want us to go into a specific area and it changes to peaceful, what you can actually type in is you can change it by typing /difficulty and then the difficulty that you want. So on to the next thing. Alright guys, so there's a new splash now. I'm not sure what it is. There's actually like millions and millions of splashes that you can have, and I was just like, whoa, really? Wow. When I was researching this new splash, I couldn't actually find what it was, but I only found what it was actually called, and it's called That's Number Wang. I don't know what that means at all. I'm assuming, I don't know. I have no idea what that is. So yeah, it's turning right side. One sec. Yeah. Let's go on to the next thing. Alright guys, so this is a naturally generating the bit of ore that I already showed you, which was the diorite, the andesite, and the granite. I'm glad I remembered all that. This is it naturally spawning, so I didn't put this here, it was naturally spawning. So as you can see, it's very large how much it actually spawns, so, and it's very common as well. So it's quite nice. I think it lightens up everything, and it gives you more to mine. I think it looks actually quite nice. More to the andesite, I really like the andesite a lot, and the granite's not too bad. I don't know if I really like this because of the quartz blocks, because I prefer to get quartz, but quartz is quite difficult. You don't get very much of it. Here's a bit of the andesite spawning, and of course here's a large amount of it being spawned, and of course I love the block, as I keep saying. It's quite nice actually, yeah. It kind of matches with the stone as well, so you need to keep that in mind that it does match with the stone a little bit. Alright, so when you want to repair an item, it costs much. It's very cheap now. It's much cheaper, which is something that I personally really love. I can't stand how much it costs to actually repair items and enchant items. So now it actually costs much less. So as you can see, to rename an item, it only costs 1 XP now. I'm pretty sure that's for most items. So if I just go and 1 XP. So let's call this. This is the spade that we had before. The breaker. Why not? The breaker. So yeah, as you can imagine, it costs much cheaper now, which is what I really love. And to repair things, it's very cheap. So if we grab this. So before it cost a lot more diamonds to repair things, and this isn't just because it's only a little bit broken. The maximum it can repair at is I think 4 diamonds, 3 diamonds. I think it's 3 diamonds, which would make sense because it costs 2 diamonds to actually make. It costs 3 diamonds to actually repair. But that isn't actually bad if you have enchantments on. So if you have enchantments on, it will only repair at about 3. So as you can see, it only costs 1. And I think it's like 3/4. So 3/3 even, 1/3. So 1/3 of that is going to be like it's difficult for me to explain. But as you can imagine, it's very cheap to repair now. So yeah, let's put this in here. Put all them in there. Yeah, so let's go on to enchanting. So repairing an enchantment. So now let's get some lapis. So now there's actually a use for lapis apart from making blocks and dyes. What you now need lapis to enchant, which I kind of like. It gives more of a reason to have lapis, and you always get loads of lapis anyway, and you never have anything to do, anything with it. But yeah. So now, as you can see, enchantment has changed. So I'm going to talk about if you highlight over them, you can actually see what you're going to get. And of course it says ... next to it, which means you can also get other enchantments. You might not just have that one enchantment. So and this means, this little icon that says 1, 2, 3, it means I'm pretty sure it means how good an enchantment you're going to have. I mean, maybe it means only one enchantment. It might mean only one enchantment you get from it. I'm not too sure. Actually, that would probably make sense. It probably means that how many enchantments you actually get, so we're going to test that out now. If we go in here, this should have 2 enchantments, so we're going to get Shatter's one and something else. Okay, no, it does not mean that. Okay. So maybe it means randomly. Again, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. Maybe it's random. But in any case, it feels at least you know what you're going to get. At least you know how much enchantment it is, and at least you have a good idea of what you're going to get out of it. So maybe this will give us 3, or maybe it's a high chance it'll give us 3, or maybe it just means that this is the highest one. So yeah, obviously it is definitely the highest one out of all these. Yeah. And it also does the same for bows. So I actually got infinity on this, and it seems to be a lot easier to get infinity on this. So power 3, power 1, power 2, power 3. I'm going to go for power 3. I only got that. Alright, let's try again. Power 2. I only got power 2. Let's try that again. Okay. So again, it's still pretty difficult to get the enchantments you want, but at least you know what you're in for. At least they've thought about, that gives us flame, power. That's a pretty good bow. So at least we know what we're going to get. This is going to give power 3. Alright, so the next thing that's been changed is villagers. So villagers have now been changed, and by that I mean they've now got names, or they've got specific professions. So by that I mean this guy's a weaponsmith. Alright, my game just crashed. Now I'm going to explain that was one of the bug fixes. Now the problem is I loaded this world on the original A, but I've reloaded it into C. So I'm on this actual snapshot. I'm on the snapshot C, which means that these have now bugged out completely. So if I go into these, it'll be broken a little bit. Yeah, it'll be broken if I click any of these. My game might crash now. I'm not sure. In any case, the names have changed now. So as you can see, this guy's got a black apron, but that doesn't mean he has the same profession. So this guy's an armorer. Now the enchantments have changed a little bit. Obviously, if I click this, it's going to crash. In any case, you just got to take my word for it. So obviously, librarian. Alright, I'm not going to do that anymore. It crashed again. I'm not going to do that anymore. So you get the idea. The professions have changed. The enchantments have been things that they offer has been changed a bit. You can check that out for yourselves in the next in the snapshot, because it's easy to get a hold of this snapshot. Obviously, you just go in the profile and change what you want. Yeah, so we're going to move on to this. So if you now press F3, this is really good. This helps a lot when you're on multiplayer and you're trying to explore. So if you press F3, you now get the exact direction that you're going in. So as you can see, if you under the Z, the X, Y, Z axis, you can see the F, and it says west. So now it actually tells you where you are almost going. Anyway, it tells you exactly which way you're going. So it says towards negative. So this is negative west. Now if I'm going to try and go into positive, well that's positive south. So let's go this way. North, east. So this is pretty awesome actually. This is allows you to actually see which way you're actually going, and you can sort of meet up with people probably very easily if you get lost. Yeah. So yeah, it helps once again. This is another reason why I don't need a compass. Alright, let's go move on to the next thing, which is right here, which is the teleporting now has velocity. So now let's get rid of this. So now when you teleport and you're falling, if you teleport before you hit the ground, you'll keep that velocity, so you'll keep falling after you teleport rather than before where it just teleported you onto a specific block with no velocity. If you carried on, you would basically carry on falling, so you would take fall damage. So if you fell for 50 blocks and you teleported right before hitting the ground on like 3 blocks away, you're going to take all the damage from that 30 block drop. So that's quite cool. It means that you're going to probably get a lot of puzzles to do with velocity now. It means that you're going to have to think about where you're actually going to fall when you teleport. So you can't just fall from the sky and teleport before you die. So if you're about to fall and you teleport to your friend to save your life, you're still going to die anyway. So it's just a thing to look out for and to make sure you don't do. Right, so the next thing we're going to talk about. So the next thing is a really cool thing that I really was hoping they would add ages ago. And it's to do with this. So now doors can stack. Thank you, for God's sake, thank you. Why didn't you do this earlier, Mojang, please? But they've done it now, that's good. So now you can actually stack doors. I don't know why they didn't add this. I mean, I think maybe they could have, maybe you did before, maybe it was up to 16. But in any case, now you can stack doors to 64. Thank you, Mojang, that was really appreciated. I really love that, because doors are so annoying. And also when you craft doors now, and you can see in probably in top right or something, if you craft them, you now get 3 doors back when you craft a normal door, instead of just getting 1 door. So yeah, that's quite a cool thing to add. Again, on the right, you'll be able to see the crafting of how you craft this. So now you can actually get chiseled stone brick from the actual game, which is a really cool thing. And you can also get mossy stone brick, which is even cooler. So now you can actually go and craft them when you couldn't before. Sheep can now instantly grow when they're a kid. So when they're a baby, let's get a baby out here. Come on. Alright, okay, so you see this? Oh, I need to... Alright. That's my sword. I need to get rid of these guys. Alright. So as you can see, this sheep is really young. It's just a baby. But we want him to grow instantly. So we want him to grow up. So if you keep using wheat, eventually, like a tree, it'll eventually grow to fully grown, but it's random. So I'm not sure how long this is going to take. Normally it takes them quite a while to grow up anyway. So I'm pretty sure this is going to take a while. There we go. So obviously it was much quicker than actually waiting. But of course that probably took a lot of wheat, so I don't know if it's worth it or not. So the last thing I want to mention is yeah, the B and C. B and C was just a bunch of bug fixes. And if you want to check out that, I'm going to have a link in the description for all the changes that have actually happened. I'm going to have a link to this snapshot. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. This was snapshot 14W02 A and B and C. I'll see you guys next time.